Series of data mining. Now in this video we're going to discuss what is data mining, what are the definition of data mining, what are basic concept of data mining, then what is KDD, and what are the applications of data mining. So let's start. So what is data gathering? So before data mining, let's first understand what is data gathering. Now we know that data is nothing but it is a raw fact, it is record, or it is an information or collection of facts. Now before data mining we have to gather some data, that is we collect data, but it must be relevant data for an analytic application and which is identify and assemble. Now what is mean by relevant? Relevant, that is related data. Now you know that data might be located in different sources because there are different sources, resources will get the data, and the basic or most important source, that is nothing but data warehouse, or from big data environment also we get the data, or we fetch the data. But in data warehouse we know that it contain mix of structure and it might be unstructured data, because today we have the data like in the form of image, audio, text, etc. But here we want some relevant data or some related data. Now let's consider one example. Suppose I have an bank data. Now in that bank data, suppose I have to fetch some account informations, then the relevant informations or relevant data is what? Relevant data is account number, then what is the credit, what is the debit, etc. These are all the relevant. And irrelevant data, that is the address of that person or address of the account holder, then contact number. These are all the relevant, irrelevant data. So relevant data, that is related data, so it can be help for the analytic application. Now you get the data from external many data sources like social media also, or external sources like YouTube, like web browser, etc. Now let's understand what is mean by data mining. Now let's understand what is mean by data mining. Now data mining is nothing but the process. It's process of storing data through large data set. Now here large data set, that is huge amount of data set, and from that data set we are going to identify the patterns. Now what is mean by patterns? It is a relevant information, or we can get a relevant knowledge, that is nothing but the we identify pattern and relationship that or relevant information which can be solved business problem through data analysis. Now analysis is nothing but we can say we can abstract something or we can abstract the data, right? Now data mining is one of the most useful technique that helps to researcher individual which extract valuable information from huge set of data. Now valuable information, that is nothing but the will get some knowledge or some information. Now let's consider one example. Again we'll take the same example of bank data. Now suppose a particular person can holding at his account 10 lakh rupees. Now that particular person get the frequent calls regarding take the loan offers or something for investment in mutual fund, or they can be called for credit card or debit card or etc. Now the question is arise how I decided to call a particular person to offer something loan or credit card etc. And I can call a basis of analysis of data. Now and the basis of the decision. So analysis is nothing but I can make the abstraction of data and abstracting knowledge from large amount of data, and that is nothing but the data mining. Now data, you can refer, data is a collection of fact, but from that fact or from that data we first have to analysis, and then we have to get the knowledge from the large amount of data, and that is nothing but data mining. Now once the data is prepared, or once we got the data scientists choose the appropriate data mining technique, because there are a number of some data mining techniques are available which implement algorithm to do the mining. Mining, that is nothing but we can abstract the relevant information or we get some knowledge, that is nothing but the mining. And in machine learning application, the algorithm typically must train sample data set to look for information. Now we have to look for the information, that is we must have to abstract some decision making data. Now it is useful for decision making also. Now in machine learning, it's also related to data mining, because machine learning applications use some algorithm which abstract data from sample data set. So it identify, or it based on knowledge based, and it also based on pattern based. So it identifies some information and knowledge. Now the process of extracting information. Now here we are extracting information or knowledge which identify patterns, trends and useful data. Now useful data, that is useful for decision making, that will allow business to take data driven decision. So basically data mining is driven as a decision making from huge set of data, and that is nothing but data mining. Now in this diagram you can see this is the raw data, fact data. Now we evaluate it, then it understand the data understanding, that is analysis, then preparation of data, then modeling, that is we apply some technique for mining, and then it evaluate, and then it deploy. So that is the process of data mining. So it is a process of storing large data set and identify pattern, which is very useful for problem solving through data analysis. That is, after data analysis we can make some decision making process. Now sometimes it is also based on knowledge, or it also find out some abstracting information, that is the knowledge, so it used for decision making. Now the knowledge, that is means it relevant information, and that is nothing but the we can also say it discover knowledge or discover knowledge from data. That's why sometimes it's also called as a KDD, that is knowledge discovery from data. Now data mining technique have some enterprise, it can be predict future, that is decision making trends and make business decision. Now let's understand what are the types of data mining technique. There are so many techniques for mining data, that is abstracting data or analysis, decision tree, k nearest neighbor graph, logistic regression, that is some statistical method of classification. Then we can also mine the data by using clustering, like for example k-map cluster, hierarchical cluster, etc. Some techniques of data mining like association, classification, regression, data cleaning, then data analytics, clustering, AI, machine learning, and rule learning. Now these are based, or these are the most popular techniques of data mining. Now, now Now, by using neural network also, we predict something pattern or complex pattern which recognize the application and which involve a deep learning. Now, these are all the types of data mining techniques. Now, there are so many multiple definitions, but the mining is nothing but the we abstracting data or loose. We can get we have the huge amount of data or loose data, and we get some pattern or knowledge. That's why it is also called KDD, knowledge discovery data. Now there is a huge amount of data. We'll get after analysis some data mark. Then we get some relevant data only. after analysis, and we'll get some knowledge. That is, we identify some patterns. That is, we identify or we abstract some knowledge. It might be pattern or it might be knowledge. So finally, we'll get some knowledge, or we can make some a process called as a decision making, or we solve some problem to useful for a decision making, and that is nothing but the we discover the knowledge, we discover some pattern. That's why it is called as a knowledge discovery in database. So data mining is also called as a knowledge discovery in database. Now data mining is a part of KDD. Now KDD, that is how to discover knowledge from database or huge amount of database. There are some steps, and all that steps are nothing but the knowledge discovery in database. But data mining is one of the step of the KDD. In next video, we are going to explore each step in details. But right now, you just know the what is KDD, knowledge discovery process. So here we have the loose data. It might be pattern or knowledge or non-trivial. That is, it's a not similar, or it might be same, it might be repetition. So we'll get some after analysis. We can reach to particular information or to the knowledge, and that is nothing but the KDD. Now it have some steps like for data cleaning, data integration, data selection, data transformation, data mining, pattern evaluation, and lastly we'll get some knowledge presentation. So KDD is the process which can discover the knowledge, and data mining is one of the step of the KDD. So this is all about the KDD. Now let's understand what are the advantages of data mining. Now this technique enables organizers to obtain knowledge-based data. That is, we get the relevant data. Now it useful for application data mining, or it can be compared with the statistical data applications. Data mining help to make a decision making process for an organization. It facilitates automated discovery of hidden pattern, or we can discover knowledge or hidden pattern, as well as predict some information, or we can make the predict, or we can useful for decision making. Now it's a very quick process or fast process that make it easy for new user to analyze the huge amount of data or enormous amount of data in very short time. So these are all the advantages of data mining. So now in next video we'll see what is the KDD and each steps of KDD in details. Thank you.